These five foreclosure markets are producing some of the most tax foreclosures that we have seen in years. So, this is an opportunity for investors to finally get into the real estate game. So, where foreclosures are hot, tax foreclosures are even hotter. So, today we are going to explore these five markets so that you can maybe have an action plan if you've ever wanted to get into investing through government auctions or foreclosures and scoop up some deals that you would never be able to find otherwise. This is the next great foreclosure boom that is taking place. And what we're going to do today is explore this article on realtor.com here. And we're going to go through these one by one. We got Corey and Josh in the bottom. They're going to join us here momentarily. How you guys doing? Put you on the spot super quick because I went to the wrong slide out.
I'm doing well.
So
I'm
we're
doing
going to
good.
dive into that here today. We're going to go through the top five with an action plan that you can go and maybe find some of these properties. I got my start with foreclosures almost 23 years ago, and I've never looked back. While most people are paying full price, tax foreclosures and foreclosures, sometimes you can get properties for 10, 20 cents on the dollar, mortgage free at tax deed sales. So if you're new to the channel, it's Dustin Hahn here. And our channel is dedicated to helping you buy tax foreclosures, sometimes up to 80, 90% below market value. Now, warning, is every deal that good? No. However, if you show up, good deals are bound to land in your lap. In fact, some folks who watch this scoop up deals. Sometimes one guy bought a mobile home for $250. Other times, folks go to auctions, get properties 50% below market value. The key thing is you have to take action and show up. We have over 3,000 videos here, and we're going to dive into it. So we're going to go show you the screen right now. And coming in at number 5 is going to be Florida, where 1 in every 2,500 houses is right now facing foreclosure. So let's jump over here right now to Corey and Josh. They are here, and Josh, let's bring your screen in, and let's show everybody where they can go to find some of the tax foreclosures that are happening here.
Okay, nice. Yeah, this is our website, Tax Lien School. So if you go to taxlienschool.com, you'll see here it is. And so all I did is just click on Knowledge Vault. Boom. And so we've got a map right here. And so Florida, 1 in every 2,500. So this is pretty hot. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity coming up this year. And so we just want to get you positioned in the right way so you can make some gains, make some profits in the 2026. So you'll notice that there's a few different colors here. And so when you see, I guess, orange, yellow, orange, this means hybrid. So you're actually going to see both tax liens and tax deeds. Really, kind of the cliff notes, the biggest difference is for a tax lien, you don't get the property right away. You just get a lien. You're paying the taxes on somebody else's behalf. And then a tax deed sale, you are getting the property. So as far as tax deed sales go in Florida, they've actually got a ton going on. And usually it's on realauction.com. So if you go from realauction.com, you click clients. They do have real foreclose, real tax lien. So we're going to be on the real foreclose side. And let's just put in a Florida filter here. And so no joke, these things are happening weekly and monthly. So for an example, why don't we go to Miami-Dade. So here's foreclosure sales and tax deed sales. So both are on the same website. And we have bought many foreclosures in the past. And so this can be a good opportunity as well. But just know that, back taxes and liens and things like that are not going to get wiped, which is different than tax deed sales, which is what we teach about. So here you can see the auction calendar. They got 64 items coming up, or that just happened on the 15th. And they've got some happening right now as we speak. Look at that, the 22nd. So a lot of this stuff does get redeemed. I mean, a lot of times you got an opening bid. So this one, for instance, was an opening bid of $35,000 on a $418,000 house. And so a lot of this does get redeemed. Maybe there was a mortgage on it. And so, since the mortgage is going to get wiped out, the banks don't like that. They're very happy to go ahead and make sure that that doesn't happen. 100 Lincoln Road. Wow,
Hmm,
nice view by the water there. This may have been like a multifamily or something. I'm not too sure what it is, but the spread is there, right? And so a lot of these do get redeemed, but there are properties that still go to auction. So we got 7 pages here. Lot getting redeemed. Let's see if we can find something that is currently going. Miami-Dade, come on, show us. maybe, maybe all. Okay, here we go. Something that did sell earlier today. So we got one. So if you are in the Miami-Dade area, you want to know, is this kind of the norm? Is this a trend? Here was the last time a lot that were canceled and redeemed. So looking through past data is going to be really helpful. And so, this is Miami, really competitive market. The thing is if Miami is really competitive, that means, some place like Martin County, you could have a completely different experience. And so I know that this is a bit smaller. Here's like the December results. So yeah, a lot more properties selling and a lot of stuff selling under $10,000.
nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. We got some folks joining us here now in the stream. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you. Let's go ahead and put in any questions that you might have while we're here. We'll be happy to answer any questions that come your way about tax lien and deed investing, government foreclosures, the whole show. Also, let us know your name and your city and state where you're tuning in from, and we can customize the stream here as we go to help you guys get some more deals. So we got some questions coming in. This is a live stream. Someone is saying here, in a tax lien state, how do sheriff sales work? When you buy, you get possession of the house immediately. So remember, in a tax lien state, you're going to buy the tax lien and then you are going to foreclose on that tax lien. So in a tax lien state, it's not going to be generally a sheriff sale that's going to auction it off like in a tax deed state. So that's a key difference there to note, is when your tax lien doesn't redeem in a tax lien state, you do your own foreclosure and then repossess the property is how that works. So let's see. Coming in here at number 4, where 1 in every 2,511 properties is currently in foreclosure, is the state of New Jersey. Now, Jersey is an interesting one, that's for sure. So let's take a look at what's going on in New Jersey.
Okay, nice. Just gonna clean up our screens there. All right, so let's have a peek. Here's New Jersey, right by Pennsylvania. And so, yeah, New Jersey is a tax lien certificate state. And so the difference here between like a Florida tax deed sale and New Jersey tax lien is that in New Jersey, you're going to pay for the taxes on someone else's behalf. And then you're going to get a fairly high interest rate. So 18%. Looks like it could be a little bit more than that, depending on the account. So that's a very high interest rate. And so one of the reasons that New Jersey is so competitive is that the banks, they want to get that 18%. They like giving us, 1% or something, and then going out and buying tax lien certificates and getting 18% on their money. And so for something like New Jersey, a lot of the townships there, the municipalities, they're fairly competitive. And so if you want to avoid the competition, if you want to avoid hedge funds, big banks, because what happens is they can bid the interest down to 0%. And a lot of them are happy to do that in hopes of a few properties not redeeming. And then they get to foreclose on those and they get the ownership. They become the owners of the property. And so they're happy to bid things down to 0%, which makes it really hard as an individual to come in and compete with them. And so, if New Jersey is your own backyard, or if you're in New Jersey, we just recommend going to smaller counties, counties with less population, because you will find that they are less competitive. A lot of the big banks, hedge funds, private money, they're not going to be in those smaller counties. They're not going to bother with those. And so you're going to be able to find a lot more opportunities there. And very similar, where it's also on realauction.com for the bulk of it. So we'll go real tax lien instead of the real foreclosed side. And I'm just going to select state. Here's New Jersey. We'll click submit. And here we go. They even do have a practice auction site, which is really helpful. So if this is brand new, if you've never been on realauction.com before, you can use the practice auction site. And here are all the different counties and the different townships. And so within a county, each township is going to have their own auction. And so there's actually a lot of auctions, even though there's very few counties. There are so many different auctions here, and it's going to be the same thing that we saw in Florida. One one auction could be completely different to the next. And so if in one auction you notice people are bidding stuff up to market value, or in this case, most people are bidding things down to 0%, you just have to keep looking until you find a place where people are able to make interest on their money and it's not that competitive. So just a little bit of elbow grease and coming in and just looking at one county to the next.
Excellent. Good stuff. Good stuff. Welcome everybody to the live stream. Let us know your city and state you're tuning into and say hello. Let's see. We got Ross tuning in. Good to see you. Let's see. James. Hello. Hello. From here, who else do we have? Fort Lauderdale. Walter. Good to see you as well. Ralph, all the way from Germany. Welcome everybody to the live stream today where we're looking at the top 5 tax foreclosure opportunities that are out there right now. And before we dive into number 3, remember everybody tuning in can get the free gift below, which is a Tax Lien Deeds mini course to get you going, where we have the directory and the ABCs that walks you guys through this step by step. It's totally free in the description below. You can grab that if you like. Or if you guys want some one-on-one help, you can schedule a call and we can show you where some great properties are as well, if that's something that you are interested in. So we got Brooklyn here. Hello. Looks like stream's coming in good. And yeah, let's go to number 3. So coming in at number 3, where 1 in every 2,373 properties are currently in foreclosure, is going to be Nevada. So let's go and explore Nevada as far as things coming up. Can be good, some good auction opportunities there as well to put on your radar and start taking action with. Actually, Josh, before you dive into that one, quick tip. So we have this directory here. One of the easiest ways to find these properties is to crack this thing open and go to Nevada and then just call them up. We have all the phone numbers in here. You guys could be calling and getting some of these on the go this afternoon. So this is for free download below in the description. Go grab it, and right after this stream, start calling, line up some of these and start diving in. So we got Nevada coming in at number 3. Let's take a little look, see what's going on.
Okay, nice. So we showed New Jersey, we showed Florida. I mean, the bulk of those are going to be on realauction.com, which is great because it's all in one place. The infrastructure is going to be the same from one to the next. But ideally, what we're really looking for is inconsistencies. We're looking for counties that are not very organized. The information that is harder to access can actually present, better opportunities. And so in Nevada, it's really different from one county to the next. And so I've just pulled up a few here just to show you, give you an idea of what's going on and how to track these down. So here is Nye County in Nevada. And so it looks like their next auction, their last auction was on bidforassets.com. And so that was October 21st to 23rd. And so Bid for Assets is online. I'll show you right here. Bid for Assets. And so this is where they had it. This is where Philadelphia does their auctions each month. But it looks like we've got Lander County, Nevada coming up March 9th. And so these don't happen, like in the same month, for instance. So across the state, it's going to be different times, which is great. It's not very organized. So you can come in, you could go ahead and compile this data, go from one county to the next and see when the auction is going to be. But yeah, so Nye County was online. So most likely, 2026 is going to be in October as well. That's irrelevant. All right, here's Churchill County. So it looks like they're going to be having one May 2026, and it's going to be conducted online. Says list of properties coming soon. So it doesn't actually say where they're going to do it online yet. But if it's not on one of the main platforms, which would be like Zeus Auction, realauction.com, Bid for Assets, Civic Source, If it's not on one of those auctions and it's online, then this could be an incredible opportunity because a lot of people know about the popular ones. But if it's something internal or it's just something that's not that popular, this could be a really good auction to keep your eyes out for. One of the other things is that they do have previous tax sale results below. So if you're interested to see how many deals went in like 2025 or 2024, you could go ahead and you could download that data. We also got Clark County here, delinquent real property tax auction. So last time in May, it was in person. And so if they're going to do the same thing again in person, that would be great because you're limited to the competition in the room. Here's the auction results and then results from 2023. Oh, looks like they did twice a year back then. And then May was just once in December and so forth. So yeah, there's a little plug for Nevada, a few of the different options and websites and Lander County coming up quick. Yeah, so everyone can register and get involved. I'm sure that there's some really good deals here. Um, well, I want to see one thing right now. I have a feeling it will get bigger, but you never know. Yeah, 48 days, so it is a little ways away. What's the population of Lander County? Okay, you know what? If the population is 5,000, maybe they have one thing, but then maybe only one bidder shows up. So things like that, there could be less inventory, but also much less population. But yeah, that list should grow, I imagine, because we're still a ways out.
Nice, good stuff. Somebody's saying here, when do I get notifications for going live? If you hit the bell and the notification, we're live Tuesdays and Thursdays. Sometimes we fluctuate between 1 and 1:30. We need to make a better effort of being consistent with the time. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, as far as that goes, when we go live, you can tune in. So welcome everybody. Folks are starting to come in. Uncle Billy coming in. Excellent. From Connecticut, San Diego here, Utah. Excellent. Good to see everybody. If you have any questions, put them in the live chat. Be happy to answer those on any tax foreclosures, tax liens and deeds, all of the above here. And then, let us know your city and state you're tuning in from, and we can do some more deep dive. So coming in at number 2, where 1 in every 1,973 properties is currently in foreclosure, is South Carolina, of all places. Who would have thought? So there can be a good investment opportunity there. And remember, with the internet these days, you can do a lot of this stuff virtually, which is totally awesome. So let's see what's going on there.
Yeah, so bit of a redeemable deed situation yearly in October to December with an interest rate. So 12% annually, highest bidder wins. And this is all just on the vault.taxlienschool.com. And so, yeah, with them happening October to December, I just had a few pulled up here. Here was Charleston County, South Carolina. So theirs was December 8th. So it just happened recently. And I don't know if it was, let me take a quick peek here. Looks like it was probably maybe it was in person. Oh, yeah. Okay. So it was in person, the Montague room, and they've got the listing. And so anytime that a auction has happened already, you always want to see if they've got over the counter, which just means parcels or deeds or liens that have unsold. So over the counter, yes. Now, not every county. There's 46 counties there. Not every county is going to have over the counter tax liens or tax deeds, but you can use the directory. You can go ahead and you can call them and ask them what happened to the unsold parcels. Because if you came in and you saw, okay, the auction just happened, I'm gonna have to wait a little bit until the next one. That would be, the wrong way to think about it because at the same time, since the auction did just happen, there should be a fresh batch of over-the-counter properties. So anything that didn't sell, you want to see if you can get an assignment on that, meaning it goes from the county held to you. They might have some really old stuff that it's just sitting there. Because if it doesn't sell, it doesn't do them any good to just hold on to it. And so with an auction happening yearly, they may not be interested in waiting a whole year before they relist it again. So the main question is, what do you do with the unsold property from that sale? But yeah, there's Charleston. and we've got Richland. So Richland was also in October, November, December. So not a lot of not a lot of information here, which is actually great. So the less information you have, the better. There's an email. We've got the contact information too. And then here is Okanee in South Carolina. So it looks like their platform was online October 23rd, 2025. So yeah, all this stuff just happened recently. So you can also look at past results and see about OTCs. That way you can get in the game instead of waiting.
Excellent, excellent. Kelly's saying, are we going to do Idaho? But we can do a bit of an Idaho take a look here after we check out number one. That's why, guys, it's important. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We can customize the stream based on what you're interested in as well. So yeah, put any questions you have. We would love to answer those and help you find some of these deals. So coming in at number one, rhymes with underwear. We're going to go Delaware, where 1 in every 1,924 properties is currently in foreclosure. And let's go take a look at some of the opportunity here in Delaware.
Okay. Yeah, Delaware, a little bit smaller, a little bit of a smaller place. Let's get back here to the Vault map. I believe it is there. Voila. Okay, so they call it a little bit different here. Looks like it's called a munition sale. So redeemable deed. We've got the statutes there. Here's the redemption period. So 1 year with 20% interest or 60 days with 15% penalty determined by the county. So it could be different from one county to the next, but there are not that many counties there. So I've got, let me see if I can get a website here pulled up. Yeah, see, it's not much, as far as county wise, there's just three. So here's a link, Kent County, Delaware. So here's just a little bit of information. So they take place. Oh, great. These happen all the time, it seems. January, April, July, and October, held on the last Tuesday of that month. So that's interesting because Texas and Georgia are the first Tuesday of the month, but Kent County, Delaware is the last Tuesday of the month at 10 a.m. In person. So I mean, the thing is that if we just go back to the map, let's say that Delaware, at this munition sale, there's some really good deals, right? Because I think we're fairly close. Yeah, we are. So for the folks in New Jersey, if you're kind of going to an auction, getting bid out by the banks there, it's not that far of a drive to get to Delaware. So you can always just be looking around your own backyard as well. When we were buying a lot of foreclosures in Ohio, you can see we're like Southern Ohio. We were actually touching Indiana and Kentucky as well. So within like a 3-hour radius, we were able to go to so many different auctions, so many different tax sales, which was great. So increasing the odds and likelihood of getting a deal. Yeah, so this is a 60-day redemption period, which is fairly quick. And then if they redeem the home, if the homeowner redeems the property, you get your money back plus 15% of the price paid, which is pretty sweet. I mean, 15% if they redeem in a week, there you go. And then after the redemption period is up, you will get the deed prepared by a real estate attorney. So yeah, they've got a lot of auctions happening. This is another great spot where you could look at the data. And with the uptick in foreclosures, if there have not been opportunities in the past, with the uptick of foreclosures, there should be more opportunities in the future. This is why we're talking about these now. So you can keep these 5 states on your radar. You can make a calendar. You can be using the vault, and then using the free resources that we gave you to call them, just to add this to your calendar and attend these auctions.
Excellent. So remember, one of the easiest ways to get to that map, it's a great free resource for the Tax Lien Deed community here. Just go to taxlienschool.com and then you can click on the Vault button. And this is all free for you guys to use. Make sure to bookmark it. We also have some upcoming auctions there as well. Let's see, Josh, maybe if we queue up Idaho, I will say hello to the new folks who've joined us. Let us know if you have any questions. Happy to dive into those. And as Josh brings that up, I'll answer the question from Kelly that says, when it comes to no cash, does it mean cashier's checks only? I know a woman in the title business who said that's what they need. Yeah. So remember, one of the most important things is to learn the rules of the auction, right? It's the rules of the road here. So some auctions might only want cash. Others might not take cash. They only take cashier's checks. Other ones, you might put down a deposit and then wire them the funds as well. So if they are saying it's no cash, then probably cashier's checks. So the easiest thing to do is just give them a call and ask them what type of payment is accepted. In the book below, we walk you through all of the questions here that you should be asking the county. So that's for free below in the description. You can grab that. It's our gift to you. Or if you want our one-on-one help, you can schedule a free call and we can do a one-on-one session to see if maybe we can help you find some of those deals as well. And remember, at the end of the day, it is better for them to take cashier's checks because we've definitely rolled through auctions before with briefcases and bags of money. And, as fun as it feels to have that much cash, as soon as you go out into public, it is a very unsettling feeling to have, 10, 20, 50, $100,000 cash on you at that moment. So cashier's checks work pretty good. And we get, depending on how much you have to bid, if you have 10,000, maybe you get 9 $1,000 checks and then 10 for 100. And then the county will send you back the difference. Say the bid is, $9,910. They would send you back the $90. So that's how that works. Let's see. We got Minneapolis here, Minnesota. Good stuff. Lots of good over-the-counter tax deeds in Minnesota for you guys to check out as well. Let's see. So we were going to do some Idaho and over to Idaho.
Okay, nice. So yeah, on the map here, we got Idaho and tax deed. So it says over the counter, only a few counties. And so that's a great opportunity because if most of them don't have over the counters, that could mean that there's a few that do, and a lot of investors may not be looking for those. So I think this is one of the more popular ones, one of the major cities or counties in Idaho. And so they had their auction online September 9th, 2025 on realauction.com. So anytime you see a platform that looks like this is Real Foreclose powered by realauction.com. And for anything on this website, it should be fairly easy to look at previous results. So I think it was September. Yeah, there it is. So they did have 10 items redeemed, something sold for, you think sold for like $1,400, $1,800, 6,000. I mean, this is nice. Sold for 6,000. It's got an assessed value of 62 grand. So we're less than 10 cents on the dollar. So we like that. We've got 9,100 on 62 grand, and we've got 285 on 326. But the assessed value is just a kind of like an indication. It might be in this ballpark. It could be a lot higher. It could be a lot lower. So you always want to do a little bit more due diligence. But yeah, so they had a few things come through. That's Kootenai. We've also got Shoshone County. This was very recent. This was just December 2023. Sorry, December 23rd. And it's a live tax deed auction that's held once a year. And then it says they're going to conduct an auction no later than 14 months. Let's see, it goes in the paper, they advertise in a few different places. The county list will be, or the auction list will be available online a few weeks before the auction. And then properties being offered at the sale can be redeemed at any time prior to the start of the sale. So the question is, what about the parcels that don't sell at auction? So the Board of County Commissioners may sell the surplus property by private or public sale. So that's pretty cool. Anytime that they do like a private negotiation with the public, that's great. So it looks like you can write a written bid for consideration. And of course they can reject that, but it does them no good to just have parcels or inventory sit there. They want to get it back on the tax roll. So yeah, they might have some leftover stuff from their December 23rd auction. So it's barely been a month already. And so you can go ahead to give them a call. And we've got Valley County, Idaho. So theirs was July 7th. And maybe they had one. Oh, that was when the tax deed hearing was. So it looks like it was September. Here's probably the inventory. Oh my, oh my. So not very much going on. They had one property, it looks like $531. So pretty low opening bid. We got Bonneville. Looks like they had theirs June 10th. And so anytime you can look at previous results, you want to go ahead and do that. Looks like this is Dropbox, and they only had a few as well. So yeah, you want to be paying attention to inventory, especially if you're going to travel, because you don't want to travel, you don't want to get on a plane to show up if there's only one property for sale at the auction. And one of them, I think they didn't do. Yeah, this one, Cassia County, Idaho. Looks like they didn't have one in 2025, so maybe 2026 could be even juicier. But yeah, there we go. A little bit about Idaho.
Excellent. Excellent. I want to show you guys just the article that we pulled some of this from. I'll share my screen here. And here we go. Screen share. So this was on realtor.com as far as if anybody wants to check it out. Here we go. So yeah, the 5 states, this is where we pulled it from. And then we went and dove into the tax deeds on this. But, interesting stuff. Foreclosures are up 21% over last year. November marks the 9th straight month year over year of increases in foreclosure activity, which is pretty wild. They're up 17% compared to the foreclosures, or they rose 26%. So this stuff is very, very interesting to watch where this is going. So recap, obviously the worst foreclosure states: Delaware #1, South Carolina, Nevada, New Jersey, Florida. You guys can come check this out if you want and dive into a little bit. So, there's a few ways to buy these foreclosed properties. And, we like the tax foreclosure side, which is when the property goes to the auction for the delinquent taxes. However, at the same time, there's often a bank foreclosure happening as well. So depending on where you're at, you can have a bit of an economy of scale if you're going to be there anyway. There's been plenty of times where we've went for a tax foreclosure and ended up buying a bank foreclosure. They can be pretty good. Pros and cons is when you buy at a bank foreclosure auction, the mortgage stays with the property. So you have to be very careful that, you're not inheriting a second mortgage. And from there, the tax foreclosure wipes mortgages and liens and things like that. But the bank foreclosure, you inherit everything that comes with it. So some of the big mistakes we've seen when people buy at a bank foreclosure is they don't do the research. They just go, they buy, they think they got a good deal, and then they don't realize there's a second mortgage on that. There's mechanics, liens, there's claims on the property from, a divorce and stuff like that. So you need to do your due diligence on these properties, obviously all of them. So, there's pros and cons to each. As far as getting some of the best deals, tax foreclosures are great. But at the same time, you can be looking at both sides of the coin as well. So good stuff, everybody. We wanted to hop in there, and we can probably land the plane here today. Josh, what do you think?
It sounds good. Sounds good.
Excellent. Perfect. Just making sure you didn't have something else loaded there.
Oh.
So as always, for everybody tuning in, check out some of the videos on the channel. We walk you through pretty much all of the tax lien and deed states for you to get in and learn how to find these properties. The biggest thing is to take action, go to some of these auctions, even as a spectator. It's one of the best ways to get in the game. And then below this, make sure to grab the mini course here, which has the directories and the ABCs for a free download below. It'll walk you through it step by step. Our goal, we give it away for free. And then our site, Tax Lien School, has the most free information on tax liens and deeds with the maps. And then from there, it's like, well, what's our agenda? What's our angle? This is also a business. So if anybody ever wants to work with us one-on-one or get some help or come to an auction, or maybe you're looking at an auction, we can save you some time, look over your properties, and help you out. So if you want to dive super deep into this, you can schedule a free call below and we can have a chat to you and see if working with you is something that's appealing for both of us. If not, all good. We will be here again. So thank you, everybody, for the good words. Appreciate that. And we shall see you guys on the next stream. Everybody have a good weekend and get some deals and let us know how it goes. See you guys.